Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, esteemed brothers and sisters in Islam. Once again, I'm here, Barrister Zulaiha Yusuf, your marriage counselor, life coach, NLP practitioner, pre and post divorce counselor. I'm serializing my new book titled The Realities of Divorce. In the previous episodes, we've discussed coping mechanisms in a difficult marriage, where we took 20 different coping methods to navigate marital challenges. And at the end of that, we came to the realization that for some people, divorce remains the only option, being that they've gotten to the point where it's a matter of life and death. The new book, The Realities of Divorce, envisages all the pre and post divorce issues that arise when people are faced with marital difficulties. And yes, so the topic is divorce, a rarely talked about topic. It's the big elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about it. Even though it's on everyone's mind, at some point in your marital journey, you may have contemplated it, no matter how sweet your marriage is, because there is no marriage without troubles. There is no marriage without one bit of discord or the other. So I know that at some point it has crossed your mind to contemplate divorce. But why don't we like to talk about it? It's such a sensitive topic. It's an unpleasant one to deal with. Even the process is very tedious and cumbersome. But the statistics show that it is something that is occurring every day within our community. The statistics of divorce cases in our contemporary society is very worrisome, because the divorce rate is increasing by the day. So why are we not talking about this sensitive topic? The causes of divorce. Why are we not talking about it? How to prevent it? Marital discourse that can lead to divorce. Acceptable and non-acceptable reasons for divorce. What is the correct procedure for divorce? Because people do it anyhow they like, which is actually an offense against Allah, because it's one of the things that are very, very heavy in the sight of Allah. In whom is the power of divorce? Is it vested in the man or in the woman? Is it the husband that has the right to pronounce it, or the wife? Does she have any recourse to the legal system when she wants to contemplate it? How do divorce proceedings even go in the various courts of the land that we have? All these things must be discussed and researched by anyone who is interested in the sanctity of the marriage institution and who is not happy with the current divorce rates that we have. If you want to prevent your marriage from ending up in divorce, it is necessary that you know what kind of marital discourse can lead to it and how can you avoid it. This is the premise of our new video series, which is based on my new book titled The Realities of Divorce, Pre and Post Divorce Issues, Challenges, and Solutions. So in this series, we are going to be looking at what to think about before you make your decision. We are going to look at the divorce procedure in the various courts, that's the area courts, the Sharia courts, customary courts, the high courts. We are going to look at misconceptions people have and the myths about divorce, and we are going to debunk some of them based on the correct Islamic position. The realities of divorce, some things that nobody told you before you ever ventured into it. We are going to look at life after divorce, personal experiences from some divorcees, male and female, that I had the privilege of talking to. Life after divorce. How is life? How does life turn out after this great step? We are going to look at divorce in Islam, the entire ramifications of the legal procedure of divorce, because in Islam, we don't do things just the way we want it. This is a topic that Allah Himself revealed an entire chapter on it, which is the Surah to Talaq, and also mentioned it in Surah Al-Baqarah and several other surahs in the Quran. Then we'll look at the divorce in Muslim communities. What are the challenges that people face? What are the solutions? What are the realities? Then look at, for anybody that is contemplating it, think about your marriage. Is your marriage worth salvaging? Has it really gotten to that point where you say, there is no turning back? The only thing I can do is to get a divorce. And then we'll also provide some solutions by solving marital disputes with uncommon sense techniques. Because the issue is that there are some marriage problems that are so heavy that using the normal methods that we use may not work. So we are going to look at on common sense techniques to solving marital disputes. Then we'll proceed to taking your final decision, if at all you take that final decision, how to go about it amicably, because it is a sour and bitter experience that a lot of people go through in a very negative way. So how can it be done amicably? Is it even possible to go about divorce amicably? Divorce conversations when divorce become inevitable, custody of children, co-parenting after divorce, and coping with life after divorce. So before you make your decision, we are going straight to the first chapter of the book now. I must tell you immediately that marriage is hard work. Marriage is hard work. For some people, the hard work is made easy by the fact that they are on good terms, very good terms with their spouses for the most part of their marriage. For others, the friction pervading their marital union is so intense and makes it an excruciatingly painful experience. There's feelings of negativity, frustration, and the like. And in this instance, the couple are living as mere strangers. They've grown apart over the years, and their marital disputes just keep increasing. They can often see no way out of their marriage travails, even after counseling and intervention by friends and family. And so it is understandable, if you are in that kind of situation, that you will want to get out for the sake of your peace, for the sake of your peace of mind, your sanity, and for a better future for yourself. But the future is uncertain, and it is fraught with endless possibilities. It may turn out good, it may turn out bad. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can tell how your life will turn out after divorce. So I say again that the decision to stay in a troubled marriage is hard, but the decision to take a divorce too is very hard. Marriage is hard work, divorce is harder work. Both have consequences. You will need a strong will and lots of prayers to go through any of the decisions you decide to take. Be sure of whatever decision you take, and what is important is that you do enough introspection and research. Don't just jump into it the way a lot of people do now. Make sure that you are sure of the decision that you are going to take. And so let me quickly tell you the rate of divorce in Nigeria, like the statistics I mentioned, which are very worrisome. As of 2016, the official statistics suggested that the dissolution of marriage was not too common. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, just 2% and 3% of women had legally dissolved their marriage. However, jump to the present times, in 2018, separation rates in Nigeria, we're looking at it in Nigeria now. Globally, the figure is even more bleak and more worrisome, because in other countries, it's happening at a more frequent rate, even in Nigeria. Because of our African background and the fact that we view marriage as a very sacred union between families and communities, the rate of divorce was relatively better. But in present times, we are seeing it skyrocketing. In a news report, it was learned that a visit to the Social Development Secretariat at the FCDA Abuja, that a total of 20 to 30 cases of divorce are reported at the offices daily. Furthermore, records at the FCT High Court, this is only one state now, which is the FCT, show that over 2,000 divorce cases were filed between the year 2019 and 2020, with an average of 30 cases being entertained every day, even as the court is trying hard to reconcile couples through arbitration panels. Findings further reveal that the figure is even higher in the lower courts, which are the customary courts, and the area courts, the Sharia courts, and the customary courts. Because the lower courts are the first point of call of many couples in different communities when they want to go to divorce. So the figure we are seeing at the high courts is very high, but for the lower courts, it's even much higher. And so in the next episode, we are going to look at what are the divorce procedures in these various courts. What are the divorce procedures before we now go to all the pre-divorce issues that you should research on first, and then the post-divorce experiences that you are likely to have. This is not a pleasant topic by any means. I have said it before. It is not one that anybody envisages. Nobody goes into marriage with the intention that I'm going to leave the marriage within a few years or few months. But we see it happening every day. I'm sure you have heard of a marriage that took place with all the flamboyance and extravagance that the families could muster in order to make it a big day. And then a few months down the line, you are hearing that these two people have grown apart, have fallen apart, and have gone their separate ways. We know as Muslims that Of all the things that Allah permitted, divorce is the one that he does not like, that he hates the most, according to an authentic narration. And Allah talks about it with so much heaviness. The fact that people are doing it as they wish does not mean that that is the status quo. The truth of the matter is like marriage, where Allah lays in rights and responsibilities and gives very heavy penalties for those who do not abide by them, it is the same with divorce too. When people don't carry it out in the proper way, they do not navigate the process the way they are supposed to do it, it carries heavy consequences. And it's not something that a person jumps into, like preparation for marriage, anticipation of divorce too, or thinking about it, trying to go into it also requires a lot of introspection. It has to be the last resort. If we look at the lives of the Sahabas, the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were people that at some point their marriages failed too, and they went ahead to separate and marry other people, but they continued as co-workers in the field of Islam, in propagating Islam, in working for Islam, in doing da'wah. But in present times, we see the way divorce ends on very bitter notes on all sides. Even the third-party interventionists usually cause a lot of harm, such that everybody on all sides suffer a lot from the way it went, and people hold this bitterness for life.